You think creatives belong with other creatives as far as relationship goes? Partner, significant other?
Could be fire.
You fear AI coming for your job?
I mean, I think it's going to change a lot of things. Been times where I'm like, is this worth it? You know, do I want to keep on this path?
What's something almost every photographer or videographer believes that you think is completely BS?
I would say...
And welcome back to the Creatively Connected podcast. I'm your host, Chris Rippy, and today's guest is a very talented photographer, videographer, creative director, whatever you want to call us these days. We wear many of hats. And this episode will be great because we just met each other not that long ago, probably 2 weeks ago, I believe. So we had brief conversation. We met out on the Darius Rucker tour this summer. Got to know each other a little bit and wanted to shoot a podcast. So, ladies and gentlemen, today's guest, Tanner Yeager. Tanner, what's going on, bro?
What's up? Nice to meet you.
We'll start.
Let's have a conversation.
Let's have a conversation, bro. We'll start it off, Tanner. If every creative listening only remembered one lesson from your career this far, what would you want it to be?
Probably not take things so personal. And maybe think more business, like 3 steps down the road versus like what's right in front of you with personal and, taking things to heart, and maybe just focus on where you're trying to go.
Is that coming from a place of maybe taking things very personal at one point in time in your life?
Might have taken a couple things personally, yeah.
In your life in general or in your creative work? Too, or both?
I would say in both aspects, but I think in photography it's hard to have a creative outlook on things and not let it be personal. So kind of understanding how to separate the two from each other and still be creative even if you don't want to be there.
Feel that. It's happened to me a couple of times, but you just got to push through it. So yeah, like I was saying, very talented photographer and videographer. You've had the opportunity and the not going to say luck, but the fortune to shoot for some really talented people. Just by our conversations and skimming through your profile, I know Zach Top I seen on there. Obviously, you were with George Burge on the tour when we met. You got a couple of big gigs coming up here soon. Just tell us a little bit about some of the people you've shot with and kind of how those opportunities came about and how they helped shape you as a creative.
Yeah. Well, I grew up a dirt bike kid in Arizona, so a lot of my first encounters with the professional, famous people or whatever kind of creative shoot it was, I guess, was in the dirt bike realm and motorsports world. So a lot of people I was encounter with were really cool and welcoming, and I think one thing, word of mouth, and one thing led to another, and then I kind of transitioned into the music stuff. And my first experience shooting music was with Brantley Gilbert. Some friends were riding motorcycles doing the Wall of Death for Brantley, and they asked me to be a part of the music video, filming it, and I ended up just meeting some of the managers, and one thing kind of led to another from that shoot, which was essentially my first shoot in Nashville. Kind of just came out here to see.
It's a wild first shoot in Nashville.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Brantley does a lot of big music videos, and there was fire and girls hanging from the roof and motorcycles and a lot of Harley. There's a couple Harley guys there, and yeah, the manager actually was like, "Oh, you take pictures?" And yeah, and showed him a picture I took of an elk, and he liked the picture of the elk. And Aaron called me back and said, "Hey, you want to tour with us?" So yeah,
all because of a photo of an elk.
Yep. And so management company hired me, and I started shooting for Carly Pierce on that tour. And Went out with her and Old Dominion and went to Canada and got to do a lot of traveling, you know, like for someone that hadn't really ever toured on a bus or been in that kind of world. It was cool to just go straight into Canada and like kind of get an experience that I was searching for, I guess, but I don't know.
When you say you were searching for that experience, was it touring in itself, or was it just getting out there and finding yourself through something so unorthodox and so unfamiliar to you?
Yeah, definitely. Some parts of it were different.
Because like you probably didn't know that you wanted to tour, I guess is what I'm asking. Or maybe you did. I know I didn't. I just kind of fell into it and was just like, holy shit, this is awesome. But you know,
yeah, that's kind of how it was for me. I mean, I had toured motocross race circuit, so understanding a schedule and set events that I have to go to. But, you know, music is every day you're in a different town, and it's just boom, 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 boom. And so, you know, going from New York City to Canada to just day after day, it was kind of cool to be a part of that and kind of get an understanding of how all of it happens and, you know, see how the chefs cook.
Yeah, absolutely. And at that point in time when you got your first, you know, tour opportunity, how long had you been shooting at that point? Like, I know you said music, that was like your first kind of music gig, but just shooting in general, how long had you have picked up a camera and been shooting?
Yeah, so probably 10 years. Like high school is when I started. I mean, motorsports, like I had been shooting professionally, I would say, like we're full time since I was probably like 20, 21.
Gotcha.
And that kind of all just came from my passion of dirt bikes, you know, just taking pictures of my friends riding out with me at the track or whatever. I'd throw a camera in my backpack and just go ride and you know, get what I could. So it just kind of kept growing from there. And with the motocross stuff, you're going round after round and it's every weekend, but you have like a whole week of just kind of off time, which, you know, was cool for me. I was able to live in a van and go do the whole thing and like go see places I would have never seen and kind of do it on my own time. And touring can kind of be crazy because you're there for a day and you go to a coffee shop and you see it and then it's right back at it.
You get to see anything within a mile and a half radius around the venue. Other than that, you probably haven't seen it. That was the one downfall to touring is I've been to almost all 50 states now, and my family or friends will ask, oh, have you seen this place? Like, you know, have you seen Mount Rushmore? Like, no, I seen the sign on the interstate when we were rolling, you know, through South Dakota or North Dakota, whichever one that's in. But it's like you hit the nail on the head. You don't really see that much whenever you're traveling because you're only there for a day. If you get lucky, you might get an off day or two in a really cool place. But it's, you know, that's when you really can go out and sightsee and be a tourist. Otherwise, you're just kind of going
with the
full
flow.
Throttle. So you like touring, you enjoy it, I'd imagine. Most people in it, I feel like if you're touring, you have to really like it in order to do it for a long period of time. Otherwise, you'll just burn out and you know, give it up. It's not an ordinary job by any means.
Yeah, it's nice to hop out of my van and moving hotel basically and have accommodations.
you gotta see this van. He's not messing with you. He pulled up outside just a few minutes ago, couldn't even fit it in the driveway. It's a sick ride. Pimping.
Thanks. Yeah, I actually have two of them. I have
oh shoot,
that's my smaller one.
Oh wow, you got a bigger van than that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a old Forest Service fire truck. Crew hauler is what it's called. It's crew buggy. They'll get mad if I say it wrong, but the hot shot.
It's like a cult, people that own these.
Well, yeah, they drive hours and spend.
These are the ones that like convert them into like homes and stuff and go out mountains out west.
Yeah, mine's I haven't seen a lot of people with them, but there are a few people that have converted them, and I bought it last year, and it's really cool. It's definitely meant for like basically off-road. It'll go anywhere, and it just allows me to kind of go places that my van doesn't really let me.
Yeah.
It just gets worse fuel mileage. So I'm coming out here from Arizona, and I was like, well, I'll take my van. It gets better fuel mileage. So
It's fair.
yeah, we're doing a little road trip right now. I'm going from Arizona to Nashville here for a few weeks, and then going to Montana. So
Oh wow, that'll be cool. Gonna be documenting it, photo, video.
Yep.
I'm sure it's probably, if you're
Do my
anything
best.
like, yeah, I guess you got to drive too, so don't be filming and driving at the same time.
Yeah, I've always wanted to get into it, but I don't know. I don't really I document the event that I get to, but
Yeah,
never the
in between.
Yeah,
It takes a lot,
driving.
especially when you're, if you're driving, but two, like you're already going to somewhere to film, take photos. It's a lot to film everything in between, and then on top of that, film what you're there to do. I just press record on everything, record every moment, and try to turn it into content in some way.
Yeah.
I have to outsource. Like, I can't edit I do a lot of times, but lately I've been outsourcing. Like, if I'm shooting a behind the scenes vlog or something, I just outsource it, because it's like I can't edit client work and relive that, and then edit my vlog and relive it. I'm like, yeah, I got to get out of this moment. I got to get on to the next moment. So, well, that's cool. That trip's coming up, you said, here pretty soon.
Yeah.
We were talking a little bit before the cameras started rolling. Tell the listeners a little bit about the gig you got coming up tomorrow at the time of recording. So when this is out, this will already happen. But talk about that a little bit. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. So one of my goals.
He's about to climb on top of Bridgestone Arena, point blank. That's really the gist of the story. But go on, Tanner.
Yeah. It's currently thunderstorming outside, and lightning and pouring rain, and there's a little bit of a chance that it will happen tomorrow. And I am going on top of the Bridgestone Arena to take a picture of Brothers Osborne.
One singular photo.
Well, a few of them.
You got to get one singular photo.
Yeah, the goal is to get at least one good one. And I'll be shooting that for Disney. So definitely not a client I ever thought was like a possibility, I guess, or it's a global client, so trying to do cool stuff with them, and being able to get to do cool stuff with them has been really awesome. So I'm looking forward to it. Tomorrow is the July 4th celebration downtown, which I would not be attending probably if I was not shooting it. 500,000 people make me a little nervous.
A little bit, with explosives.
And a lot of fireworks, but it should be really cool, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'll get that photo and then roam around for the rest of the night getting crowd photos and whatever else I can find.
Lots of subjects to get those crowd photos of. That many people down there. That's so cool. So it's with Disney. They're the ones that booked you for it.
They're the ones putting the event on.
How did that come about? Like, did they just find you through social and reach out, or how did that go?
They found me a couple years ago. I did CMA Fest for them 2 years ago. And someone shot me an email, and I kind of was like thinking it was just going to be maybe an artist or something during CMA Fest. And they were like, no, like we would like you to photograph the stadium on all 3 nights of the biggest country concert in Nashville, or one of them. I mean, it's a week full of it, so it's
it is definitely the biggest.
Tons of people. And I was like, all right. And I ended up getting to shoot that it was me and another photographer, and he was a photographer for the Tennessean for 20 something years.
Wow.
Like, super awesome guy, and was grateful to be able to work with someone that has been doing it his whole life. Like, he just gave me a lot of knowledge, and was really kind to me the whole time, and we just did our thing. We had credentials to shoot whatever, and shot the stadium for 3 nights, and the photos went everywhere. And Disney has a pool of where you can upload stock photos, or they will pay photographers, and then people can use those photos for articles and radio releases and stuff like that. And so pictures of Jelly Roll and Zach Top and Billy Gibbons and just a lot of people like got put out in the world, and I was getting tagged in it, so
That's badass.
it was cool. It was a fun experience. I mean, touring is a little bit different than that kind of gig, because it's like you're just there to get pictures of the musician. So it was a really fun experience, and yeah, I'm excited for this 4th of July. So
yeah, bro, that's gonna be badass. I hope it goes well. Can't wait to see the photo from it. And
yeah,
if I get a wild hair and find myself downtown, which I don't think this is gonna happen, I'll be looking for you. Keep a lookout for on top of Bridgestone Arena.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Thanks.
What's something almost every photographer or videographer believes that you think is completely BS?
That the gear matters.
Mic drop. End of the episode. So gear doesn't matter.
No.
I agree with that statement. I think that if you have the eye for it and you can tell a story, you can be shooting on a potato and still deliver somewhat good quality.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, film, whatever you have works.
Yeah.
I've gotten cooler photos off of a camera from the 70s than I have my expensive cameras.
Yeah. People DM me all the time. It's like, what camera do I get to get started? Or I'm shooting sports. I'm like, honestly, sports was what I originally started shooting. If I was going back on it, I mean, this is circa 2019, 2020. So it's like shooting on the iPhone professionally wasn't as accepted then as it, has grown to be now. But if I was looking back and could change anything about that, because I was shooting on very basic, I mean, it's kind of contradicting because we're saying equipment doesn't matter, gear doesn't matter, but I was shooting on basic camera body and lenses then. If I could go back and change it, I'd use the iPhone 17 zoom if I had it then, and screw a 70 to 200 or a 400. I'm all the way down at the other end zone with the new iPhone, so I'm a firm believer in that. A lot of my, first couple tours, like, I was shooting with very basic gear. I mean, I went on a Snoop Dogg tour with a Canon Rebel, you know what I mean? And I obviously had my Black Magic and was shooting video mainly on that, but I delivered photos from a basic camera that were used and posted. And it's like, when it comes down to the nitty gritty, the camera itself, the lens, yes, it can help the quality or it can help, visually, but it doesn't change at the end of the day. It doesn't make the client, the video perform better on social or perform better in ad spend. So
for sure,
I agree with that. I think that your gear does not matter. It can help you. It can help you achieve a different look, but it does not matter when telling a story. So and so many people believe that. Like they'll go out and go in debt to get a red camera and not know how the hell to use the thing.
Yeah, that was huge in motocross. Like, the people I was competing with in video before these like new mirrorless cameras started coming out, I mean, everyone, like, the standard was to have a red if you were going to get a commercial shoot with a big client like Monster or something.
Sure.
Some powerhouse company. Like, they're wanting to see someone that's shooting on, like, their reel is from a $50,000 camera. Like, yeah, it's probably, in my mind, it's like, yeah, that would probably look better than mine. But I think video definitely makes it a little bit easier when you have the right tools. But for photography, like, no, just use whatever camera you have, and the moment is definitely more important than what camera you're using.
Yeah, no, totally. I shoot on, when I'm shooting concerts, like, I have 2 different cameras that I use, and I go back and forth. Mainly, one's for video, one's for photo, but I get, like, B-roll and some main clips with both cameras. And it's like, you said something right there. It's like, just focus on the moment, get the moment. Sometimes I've had to like take a step back and only shoot on one, or like split up my time, like half and half to show shoot video, half to show shoot photo, instead of like alternating or thinking I need to grab photo of this moment. I'd miss the moment entirely, just contemplating and worrying about, oh, I want the video shot on this lens super wide and get the crowd reaction when the lights come up. And it's like, you thought so much on it, you missed the whole moment, and now you don't have any of that to turn in.
Yeah.
So I love what you said there. It's like you got to focus on the moment. If you can get the moment, capture it, and tell a story in that moment, you warm up a potato and shoot the damn thing. You know, I always use that reference. I'm like, I could shoot on a potato and still deliver better than some of these people out here. No shade. That was not meant directly at anyone specifically. But yeah, no, gear doesn't matter. Start shooting. Unless we're talking about transporting your gear, then it does matter. Guys, I used to carry around my camera, lenses, bodies, everything in a soft shell backpack, and that is just not the way to go if you're trying to be professional, especially if you're traveling or going long days. You want a good camera case. I've started using the Condition 1 camera case. I've got a link in the description of the video. You can get one, any case on their website, 10% off using that link, so go grab that. I have 2 of them now, and they have these padded lid dividers. I've never used those on a case before. Maybe I'm just not experienced in cases, but those things are an absolute game changer. So gonna leave those linked in the description. You can go grab that if you want. That's the only gear that I think matters, is how you travel with your gear. Because I broke a lens in a soft shell backpack, just tossing shit around, not being a professional and being cautious with it, and actually broke a lens. So then I went to Harbor Freight and got me an Apache case and cut the stuff out myself. And then thankfully my friends at Condition 1 hooked me up, and now I don't think I'll ever use. You familiar with them?
Yeah, that's definitely something I've been wanting to invest in.
Yeah.
Touring is crazy because you kind of run out of room on the tour bus, and your stuff might have to end up in the bay of the bus, or the trailer,
or the bottom of a junk bunk. And if it's not protected, hard shell, it might be all she wrote. My first tour that I ever went on, I'm green as could be. I was still in college, first night on a tour bus. I showed up and didn't have a hard shell case, and I had an old head for a tour manager. Shout out to Greg. Greg, if you're watching, thank you. You showed me the ropes early on, but he ripped me a new one. Like, you showing up as a professional on a bus with this? I hope your camera's he was just one of those older guys that have toured with a bunch of people, just hard ass. He wasn't trying to be an asshole, but he was like, I hope your cameras do get broken. You're gonna learn a lesson. Yeah. And needless to say, I did that one weekend and then went to Harbor Freight and was doing that whole shebang. But get you a hard shell case. It's definitely worth it. Other than breaking lenses and carrying your equipment properly, what's been one of the hardest lessons that the industry taught you that nobody could have warned you about prior?
Well, I think that the balance is probably something that isn't talked about enough in the industry, and just how to balance your life and how to balance traveling so much. And some people kind of warned me I was going to work a lot, but I wasn't really sure what that was going to look like. And now I'm a little bit more familiar and trying to balance it out a little bit more.
Do you think the amount of work that being a creative full-time demands is more than you thought it was going to be and more of a challenge, or has it been easier?
I mean, I guess it just depends who you're with or what job you're kind of doing, but some of them have felt like years that I've been on there, and it's been 3 months, and some of them go by really fast, and you're sad when you leave, and it's like, oh dang. So I think it's kind of a mixture of both, and just kind of passes by really fast. I mean, I've already been doing this for like 7 years, not 5. I think I've lived in Nashville for 5 or 6 years, so kind of been coming back and forth here. So they say it's a 10-year town, and I don't really know what's gonna happen, but I'm I'm having fun while I'm here, and I've got to work with a lot of cool people, so I like being here. And
you got to shoot with Disney in literally less than 12 hours. So I think the 10-year, you can check it off the box. You're doing some big things. So
yeah, maybe I think it's if you don't make it in 10 years, then I don't know, but
talk about that.
I've made it, but
speak on that a little bit. What does in your books? What does for Tanner or for a photographer, videographer, creative in general? What does making it look like? And is it different from person to person?
I mean, yeah. I think if you have a family, the bar gets raised up a little bit. If you have children to support and a wife, or vice versa. So if you're having to give up certain things like that to go out on the road, I think that there needs to be more of probably a financial reward versus some of the choices that I take don't have to be so financially focused, and I'm able to kind of go do what I want to do and not think about the money so much. But yeah, I think for me it would be to afford to buy a home and afford to kind of like have a sustainable lifestyle off of the art that I'm creating, and not have to like worry about if I'm going to be able to go survive and live and stuff like that. And there's been times where I'm like, is this worth it? Do I want to keep on this path, or is it easier if I kind of do a part-time job? And it's every time you like take and you replace it with something else, that's just less time that you can focus on it. And I've really wanted to try to put like everything I can into this and make it a career. So I have been focused on trying to get the best opportunity that will allow me to be financially stable and do it as a job full time. So I love it, and I think it's a passion of mine, but it's also my job too. And so having to learn the balance between those two is always tricky. And I have broken both my legs in 2 years from motocross and a Harley, so I don't have insurance, and I don't things that you're supposed to have. It's like I don't have paid time off work if I get hurt. Like this relies on me doing the part, so that's kind of been like my focus is being able to have a business, and if something like that does happen, I'm not completely screwed. So
no, I get that. And that's one thing that people, you said health insurance and all of the benefits that come with a job, you don't get that doing what we do. And it's
I mean,
there's
you
trade-offs.
You could work for a label, or you could work for a certain person, and there are artists that they give that kind of benefit to. Working salary for someone is an option, and I've been offered stuff like that. And for me, freelance is always my favorite. Getting to go and do what I want to do and tell the story I want to tell. So we'll keep trying.
Hey, we'll live to see another day. The sun will rise tomorrow. We'll keep trying. You've gotten to shoot obviously for a lot of very well-known people and successful people, and you have a very wide portfolio. One of the things that we talked about when we first met was someone in specific that you've gotten to shoot for and that you were shooting for. Just tell us a little bit about that, and before you get into it, obviously I know before you say anything, but I'm very sorry for your loss. Just talk about that opportunity and what that means to you, and what he meant to you.
Yeah, so assuming you're talking about Kyle.
Yes.
So yeah, Kyle Bush, started working for him in 2019, started working for him in 2023, I believe. And I kind of was just burnt out on the music stuff and touring all the time with people that I was not getting along with necessarily. So I had a friend that was also a tour photographer in the music industry reach out, and he let me know that there was a job opening for a photographer for a NASCAR driver named Kyle Busch. And I obviously knew who Kyle was, and I was like, okay, this seems pretty cool and different. I've heard great things about North Carolina, so I was like, North Carolina could be a cool place to move. It's not far from here. I can kind of do both, and music and living out there. And so took the job interview, got the job. First race with him was Talladega, which is the craziest NASCAR race. He ended up, I think most of the race he was in like 35th place or 25th place, and he's just in the back of the field. And they're long races. Like, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I had never photographed a NASCAR race, never was really even had been to a NASCAR race. So going there, I'm just doing the best I can. I'm looking for angles maybe that no one else is getting, and just trying to learn it too and see what it's about. And everyone's like, yeah, it's not over. Like, there's always big ones at the end. There's always big crashes. Like, you don't know what's gonna happen. So I just hung out shooting along the wall and the fence and stuff, and then crash after crash, and then Kyle ends up winning the race, and on like the last lap he got in first and then ended up winning. So the team grabs me and they take me out into the middle of the track, and they're like, come on, and I get to take pictures of him doing the burnout and everything. And it was just a really cool experience. Definitely like something that is really hard to achieve for a racer. That race is very hard to, it's a
hard to even compete in it, but much less win.
Yeah. And so to go there and see how, like, this is what it takes for it all to come together. Some of these guys are on the teams and they don't ever get to experience their driver winning, or it's a lot for a photographer to capture it and be like, dang, I hope I don't miss a moment from this iconic race. And yeah, it was cool. And then from then on, I shot for him for probably 6 or 7 more months, and I just traveled with him everywhere. I was his right-hand guy for photos, so everywhere we went, or everywhere they went, I went. And we were racing 5-6 times a week, between NASCAR and his son Brexton's race. And I also have never worked for an 11-year-old. That was my boss, and that would be Brexton Bush. And Brexton Bush enters the chat, and he tells you what he wants, and tells you when he doesn't want you to take his videos or photos.
He's particular.
He's very particular young man. And I don't know. I mean, I just love them. I was with them every weekend and with Brexton, and I got to see the best version of Kyle I think that I could have got to experience. Like, it was Kyle being a dad and him loving the sport again. And I think that there was times in his life where he had won so much and been doing it so much that he kind of was in that weird burnout mode of what is it that I do love, and like, what am I here to be doing? And he got to share that with his son, and he got to pass, his son started really enjoying it, doing good, succeeding, winning races, and then just started snowballing, winning more races. And he's like, okay, there's something here, and he was tough on him. And I think he taught me a lot of things that I'll take into my parenting, and, like how to kind of step away and not be overbearing in those situations, because it's like, if he doesn't want to do it, he doesn't want to do it. But if he's there to show up and he loves it, then we're going to put everything we got into it. And, Kyle was a prime example of that. So it was cool to see how he pursued everything wholeheartedly, and he was a very passionate person. I mean, you have to be crazy to race every single day of the week. Like it's, it's just like touring where you're out there singing, but with racing, you're putting your life on the line. Like you're literally going out there and going 200 miles per hour around the track. And I thought there was a lot for me to learn, and I knew going in there, like, I just wanted to have the best experience I can have. And I mean, now seeing the photos and seeing like things that I've done with them in the past, like it's crazy to look at. And I think I have really cool moments that tell their relationship and things that Brexton will be able to look back on and be very like he'll remember those moments. Those were moments that built him to be the person that he's becoming. And seeing him go through this without his dad there in his corner, like, it just sucks. It's not something that he should have to experience. And I don't know, hopefully, Brexton, like, just uses this for fuel to live on and with this legacy of Kyle's. And I think, everyone is doing a great job at that. And seeing all of the stuff at the NASCAR tracks in the last few weeks and seeing how everyone has like poured out and like shown support to Brexton and Samantha and Lennox, like, it's just been really like touching. And I never knew what kind of impact someone has, like, when you're working there and you're in the midst of it. You're just trying to win, you're trying to get these things, and you're just hauling from race to race. But like, he definitely left a big impact on a lot of people's lives, and I'm grateful for that. And it's just crazy.
Oh man, I'm again super sorry for your loss, but what an opportunity to be in the mix of that, and like, not only be in the mix of it, but some of the last races probably that he did. I don't know how long ago that was, but I know it was somewhat recent. So it's
I actually photographed his last Cup win race.
Wow.
So it was
that's just I'm literally getting the hair standing up on my arms right now. Like, that's to get that opportunity. One, obviously you don't know that in the moment, sure, like you don't know that, but like that's something that will live on forever. And you said something a second ago, like his son, his young son, Brexton. Brexton. Brexton will have those, and his wife, to look back on, and those, like, that's the beauty in what we do. It's not just moments for social media or for them to have as their phone wallpaper. Like, these are capturing real life moments, and sometimes you don't know when someone's last moment might be. Like, that's just I don't know, man, that's a very special thing to hold, to have, to say you did that. So very sorry for your loss. And you shot his last win, you said. Which race was that?
I don't actually remember the track, but it was in 2023 or 2024.
Wow.
Cup race. So he had won like the trucks and won a lot of other races, but he that
man just loved to Ricky Bobby go fast, didn't he?
Yeah. He had the most wins out of any NASCAR driver out of all of the races combined. That's so crazy. Like the truck, O'Reilly's series, and Cup, he had the most wins out of all the drivers. So he raced all of them, which there's multiple series in NASCAR, trucks and different tuned cars.
Oh yeah, there's my dad used to be big into racing, and I could never follow along with it. He'd have a new one on. I'm like, I don't understand this. But
I mean, just learning that stuff is crazy. Like, I went in pretty naive to everybody. Yeah. I mean, I've been in music. I knew a little bit about the country musicians, who they were.
Sure.
Dirt bikes, knew who they were, but NASCAR, I mean, I was meeting people that are just legends, and I was like, oh, like, I'll go look them up online afterwards, and I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah,
like,
you were famous.
Yeah, and back in the 80s or 90s, and you were one of the best racers, and one of the coolest moments I had with Kyle was he got inducted into a thing that NASCAR did for the 50 best drivers. And it was basically like a Hall of Fame kind of banquet and award. And it was 50 of the greatest drivers all in this one tent in the middle of a NASCAR track. And I'm like standing next to Kyle and Joey Logano and Bill Elliott, just all, Richard Petty was in there. And it's just, you looking around and it's legend after legend. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like, and there was maybe 5 photographers in there. And
that's wild.
Yeah, it was kind of just closed off to anyone except for like team photographers and stuff. And so, yeah, Kyle knew a lot of really cool people, and I met a lot of really, really cool people because of him. So definitely grateful for those experiences and just being at the track and, getting to see like kids that are shredding right now. They're going to be superstars, with Brexton. All of the guys that race against Brexton are NASCAR legends' sons and stuff like that, and they're all gonna do this generation. It's the next generation, and
that's how they do it. It rolls over, it passed down generation to generation. It's just such a cool opportunity.
Shout out Wyatt Miller. Wyatt Miller is a bad dude. Yeah? He's Dale Earnhardt's grandson.
Okay.
And
okay.
I'm ready to see like Brexton like just have full shootout races with some of these guys, and I think it's cool to see,
because you've seen them from the start.
Kyle Larson's son races, like they are all going at it, so it would be fun to like go to a NASCAR race on Sunday and see how the dad's finishing, and then the kids go battle it out, and they're doing the same passes. They both have the same driving style as their dad, and it's like it really is passed on, and getting to photograph that and kind of just document it, it's fun to do. And I think that there's a lot of cool jobs like that for photographers, being able to just go tell someone's story and like document their life. You kind of got to give up your life in a way, but there are rewarding things, rewarding moments and stuff like that come along with it.
Tanner, who did you have to stop listening to in order to become who you are today?
I would say like everyone.
Fair.
I don't know. Some people give me good advice, but sometimes the advice comes with selfish, selfish instincts. Yeah. So it's good to listen to yourself and do what makes you feel happy and fulfilled.
It's kind of hard to do sometimes with how social media is today. You scroll, people might comment something ugly under your work, or whatever the case may be. But it's I've found too, when you can tune, not that you have to tune everybody out, but when you can get as tunnel vision as you can get and just listen to your inner voice. Sometimes that can be a bad thing. You might get too much in your head, but my mama wouldn't like me saying tune everybody out, not listen to everyone, but I do agree with that. It's and two, people can one, don't take advice from anyone that's not where you want to be or doing what you want to do. But two, you said it, people can give you advice, but it can be from a selfish standpoint. They might advise you wrong just because they don't want to see you do better than them. So it's a I don't know.
You gotta do what's good for you.
Yeah, you do. Took me a while to learn that. I was a people pleaser back when I first got into this industry, coming out of college. Like, I was the guy, like high school and somewhat of in college, I always wanted to make, people happy. I didn't want to piss people off. Now I don't care. Like, if I piss you off, whatever, I won't bat an eye. But it's, you have to do what's best for you at the end of the day. And that goes for your creative work in every realm of your life, I think, anyway. So
yeah, sometimes it's good to get advice. I mean, there's been situations where I've been wrong and been like, wow, maybe I could look at it from a different perspective. But I think if you have a feeling in your gut and you can't get rid of that, then that's probably a good indication that you should just do that. And there's if there's like a financial risk in it, it's probably because it's going to lead to some kind of fulfillment.
Listen to your gut. It's trying to tell you something.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to a photographer or videographer that's struggling how to understand how to price themselves right now?
I would say that doing things that are kind of around the market pricing is usually good. I mean, you don't want to undercut somebody, and you don't want to be the guy that's like throwing out an unreasonable number, I guess. You're trying to get hired and you're trying to be competitive with your pricing. And I think that just experimenting, and honestly, it's a lot of the times if they say no, you're just kind of missing maybe a red flag, or you're getting it for a reason. So it's maybe meant to be.
Yeah.
I've lost a couple of pretty big ones that I was like, well, maybe it was because I was too expensive, or maybe it's because I didn't charge enough, and
they just overlooked it completely because it was a low price.
Yeah,
that can be a thing just as much as overcharging.
Yeah, for sure. You want to show up and have a professional rate, and knowing what other people's rates are, knowing how other people are pricing is very helpful. And I think when you're friends with a group of people, you understand what everyone's kind of charging and what everyone's level is of where they're at. And so asking them for advice and asking them how to price things out if you're stuck on something. And I mean, that was a big part of the beginning of my career, was just asking my mentors and different people around me, hey, what do I charge for this, and how can I provide them the most amount of content or return of investment as possible. So
that's a big thing, return on investment. A lot of videographers and photographers too, just sell videos and photos. They'll be in messages, I was guilty of it too, hey, you need video, and it's what is that video or what are these photos gonna do? Learning how to communicate. Obviously your work has to prove it, but learning how to communicate, okay, this is what you're getting, to make them feel comfortable, one, investing, but two, to be able to foresee into the near future, okay, I see how this could be worth my investment. I'm not just getting a recap video that I can use once. I can use this for promotion for the next event or the next concert, So it took me so long to understand what return on investment in this space even looked like, because I'm how can I show that? We're just getting content, throwing it out there. How can I, besides the views itself, how can I prove that this got this music artist new fans, or it brought people to a concert? It's kind of hard to justify that, but there's ways to track metrics and study things to figure out, okay, this is what you're getting with this. Not with every video, but when you can learn to communicate that to them. At least, it worked for me this way. Obviously, everyone's situation is different. But when I learned to communicate, okay, this is what you're getting through this investment, and actually have proof of that, is when I was able to actually charge more consistently,
Yeah, for sure.
I'd be able to charge, I'd have hit and miss gigs, and I'm speaking in just a wide, window of time. But early on to kind of in the middle compared to right now, I would have a gig, say once every 3 months that I feel like I'd hit big on. I'd get a couple thousand for it. I'm that's good, but it was never anything consistent until I was able to actually prove, okay, this is your return on that. So I don't know, a lot get stuck in that, and they just charge for a one-off video. They never get any retainer clients or anything like that help pad that income every single month.
Yeah, I think having expectations too, understanding, maybe not having expectations, but understanding the expectations mutually of this is what you're going to get and this is what I'm going to deliver and stuff like that. So you're not so...
Make sure they're communicated beforehand too.
Yeah, yeah, because a lot of times afterwards it turns into a lot bigger project than it was originated to be.
I need this many edits, and I want all the raw footage, and it's that's my biggest thing. What in the hell is a client gonna do with the raw footage?
Pay their in-house editor to edit it and not do your job.
Yeah, their in-house editor. They're gonna go find an editor, you know, and then it's just gonna be I don't know, and not even just like music industry, anybody. Like, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, what are you gonna do with the raw footage, especially when you shoot? Like, when I switched to the Black Magic, and that was my first like introduction to shooting raw footage, and I remember a client asked for that footage, and you have to, if you shoot like in like the B-roll, you have to download Blackmagic's app or something. I don't know, some converter. You have to download it to use
the files.
Yeah, to use the files. And I remember trying to walk someone through that, of how to get that, and I had to YouTube it because it's something I only do once and never remember. So I walked them through that. They got everything situated, and then it was the famous line, "Why is the footage gray?" Like, this is why you don't want the raw clips. Like, you don't know what you're. Bro, I have to be honest. The first time I ever received, I mean, this is like my first year of shooting. I was like helping someone shoot something. They shot in raw and everything, and they delivered. It was the same instance. They delivered the clips to me. And I was like, why is this, like, do they suck? Like, why are they, like, I'm not proud of it, man enough to say it. I was that guy, but that was in like my first year. So, you know, we've grown a lot from that now, but
yeah, I might have missed my biggest photo opportunity of my life today. So that was,
is that true?
Cool. Yeah.
What was it?
Well, like, it would have, so I was at Mitchell Deli.
Okay.
Shout out Mitchell Deli. Over in East Nashville, and my buddy and I are sitting there, and we decided to go get a sandwich, and we got to the shop, and I was like, hey, we're matching. We're just wearing the same pants, same shirt, same freaking hat.
Yeah.
And we go in Mitchell, order. He sees the guy sitting behind me, doesn't think anything of it, doesn't say anything. Then that person gets up and walks over and is standing behind him, getting ready to walk out the door. And I was like staring at him. I thought he was a band member. I thought, like, maybe, okay, this guy's a musician. He's dressed nice. Then the other guy with him had his wife and kids. And that guy kind of looked like maybe a drummer or something. Yeah. And I was like, are they in a band? And they walk out, and I'm looking, and I just go to my friend. I'm like, who is that, Sean White? And he's like, Sean White in Nashville? I'm like, hey, whatever. I don't know. I was just making a joke because the guy looked like Sean White. And then he's like, yeah, he kind of does look like Sean. And I was like, I don't know. He's like, does Sean have tattoos? I'm like, I couldn't tell you. Sense. I don't know. And then the server behind us had just helped him, and he was like, Sean White? He's like, yeah, that's Sean White. And I was like, oh my gosh.
So
I could have just went up with my friend in a matching outfit. It would have been funnier if Sean was also wearing green and black.
Oh, that would have been wild.
And we would have all dressed up like Sean White. But yeah, I saw Sean White today in Nashville. So, you know, you never know who you're going to see here. And I missed that opportunity. I could have slipped him a business card or said, hey, dude, hire me as your photographer. But I was not paying attention. The turkey sandwich was good, though.
You got to resemble him now that that's on my mind.
My friend was redheaded,
I haven't looked
too.
At a picture of him in a long time, but I know the hair. He's got long hair, don't he?
Well, yeah, he's redheaded, though.
Is he?
Yeah. Dang, he wouldn't know who Sean White is either. I don't feel bad.
No, I would not. I would not. There's so many celebrities that, like, I don't know. I not that I'm not, like, with the times and not hip. It's just like, I don't know. I guess just being around so many, you don't even think about it, and then you just, I don't know. You see him on TV, like Sean White. You know, you see it then, but you're not thinking, oh, that's Sean White.
Yeah, Sean White's just in Mitchell Deli, just having a sandwich with the fam.
Yeah, that's crazy. I guess he's probably gonna be.
So the guy was walking away, and he had an Aspen shirt on, and that's kind of what made me like second guess. I'm like, Aspen?
Yeah.
All right, maybe
it
could be Sean White, but yeah, it was.
other than the Shaun White encounter today, what is one moment that you could go back in time and maybe get a different shot, maybe change the lighting, maybe you missed the moment in entirety? Any moments that stand out to you that if you could go back, you would change and redo?
Yes. Last year, Travis Kelce's friends and tight ends event. I was going to shoot it. It was on the calendar for Chase Rice, and I was on tour with Chase. So I see this happening, and I texted the manager, his manager. I'm on tour with him, so I'm like, hey, am I shooting this tonight? And they're like, no, you don't need to do that. It's all good. You know, no one's going to be there. It's not going to be anything cool. And then I see that night Taylor Swift's on stage with Chase's guitar.
I know exactly the
and
one
I'm
you're
like,
talking about.
oh. So I missed out on Taylor Swift photo as well, and that one would have been cool. I mean, you know, everyone loves T Swift.
Yeah, everyone loves T Swift. You know, she's from Nashville, but like Hendersonville. Reason I even bring it up, I used to live in Hendersonville, and where her first concert was. Like, there's a legendary photo like by the river or whatever. Like, I used to go run over there all the time. So I'm a Swiftie. I like a little T Swift. Okay, so that moment you would have preferred to be there and gotten that picture.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, what I could have done to change that was just show up, you know, been like, no, like, this is worth the photo. Like, I'm already on tour with you guys. Like, I'm just going to figure out how to get in here. But I don't know. Watching Almost Famous, like, that he just went to the concert and just got in. Like, sometimes I think you got to do that stuff. And, you know, there's been other opportunities that I haven't got because I didn't risk it, and try to get into the event. And I try to network and stuff here, and I think it is easier to network in Nashville because everybody is here, and so you can kind of go out and meet people and come across different artists and stuff. And and maybe living in the West Coast, it's not always so easy to meet people like that. So
to the creative that is not in a big city, maybe they're in a really small town or a decently sized city, what advice would you give to them if they're not just around the scene and they want to break into it?
Just go to the event. I mean, just go to the thing. And
an Elk got you an opportunity. So
I mean, build a portfolio and, you know, try to curate your art into something that you can present to other people. And then if you're in a situation where you can talk about it, show it, you know, kind of express what you would like to do. And I don't know, I think that's gotten me pretty far down the line of just building what I like doing. I mean, a lot of people told me that I needed to just do Supercross, and that was my photography. You know, I was shooting Supercross, and a lot of the action sports photographers shoot just action sports where I know guys that have been doing it for 30 years, 25 years, and guys my age that have been shooting nothing but dirt bikes. And focusing on one thing is really good, and I think that's what you kind of get in Nashville is like, I get to focus on music. I get to focus just on creating in the music realm and not really be distracted with going and having like landscape to shoot from and portraits and motocross and all this different stuff, which is cool to do, and it helped me build the resume. But I think at first it was a lot of just taking the opportunity and taking the things that maybe didn't make sense but I wanted to do, and I thought that they would help me get further along.
I think you kind of have to do that at first, you know, take gigs wherever they come, build a portfolio, figure out what it is you even want to be shooting. But there comes a point in time where you have to take a step back and kind of figure out a direction. Doesn't mean you have to be married to it and stick with that forever, but it's good to have a focus, because you can become an expert or close to an expert, proficient in that specific niche, and really hone in on that. And it allows you to be more creative too, because you're not creatively stretched all over the place. You're not shooting a wedding this weekend and then motocross and then music concert. Lightning just like struck right outside that window.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was crazy. Wait for it.
I mean, it's like at least 3
No
miles
thunder.
away. That's
Yeah,
good.
it usually comes pretty quick, but yeah, no, it's a having a set niche is there. It is.
There it
There's
is.
the thunder. I'm gonna add in a sound effect in post and make it blow up. That's how the
You
how
should
the
just go
episode
get some
ends.
off AI.
I'm gonna AI us just getting thrown out of here. Speaking of which, you fear AI coming for your job?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's going to change a lot of things.
crazy.
Yeah, I just got off the phone today with my cousin, and he works for SpaceX in the AI team for Elon, and
No shit.
we had some pretty cool conversations, and he was talking about like the difference between the AI and one, like ChatGPT doesn't remember things all the time of
Yeah.
like say you're trying to do a movie and you're trying to build out a whole story for it to continuously know what that character's progression is going to be and keep like calling back on it doesn't necessarily do that good. But there is like a different AI platform and different multiple different AI platforms that allow you to actually like build that out and
Yeah.
have characters, and like it has memory and
Yeah.
it'll know kind of what to do next. And I mean, yeah, it's crazy that we live in a time where that, you know, the movie funding isn't as big as it used to be, and I think a lot of movies are gonna turn into AI, and you know, they can clone the actors' voices, and they'll find things of interest that interest people. And I mean, it's already happening in music, and
Yeah.
it's
not coming.
photography.
It's here.
Yeah, it's here.
Yeah, it's crazy. And with the actors too, I think it was McConaughey was saying, I seen an interview, he's like, you know, you just kind of have to adapt with it. What are we going to do? Like,
Yeah.
but saying for like the actors to use their name, image, and likeness, like, sure, I'll get a fat sack for letting you AI my image. You know, they ain't got to do nothing. They want McConaughey in the movie. They pay them, you know, $250,000, and they can use them through the whole movie. You know, obviously the numbers just making up, but yeah, it's crazy. I've dabbled and tried to stay ahead of the curve. You know, I've always been one. I don't want to get left behind in any new tech or advancement. But it's I'm a believer, and I've taken heat on Threads for this. I've gotten into some battles with people on Threads and Instagram too, with using it. But I don't think that AI is going to come and take our jobs if we learn how to implement the tool. You know, all it is a tool, just like Photoshop, just like Lightroom, just like Adobe Suite. You know, it's a tool. How can you integrate it? What I hate is the fully AI, you know, where those videos and photos where you can just tell it's AI. The voice, you can tell, the motion, the skin looks plastic. Like, if you're gonna do it, at least try to like figure out how to integrate it. Like, integrate it with real life. For example, I had a content shoot in a studio on a white wall, or it was on a black wall, and I AI'd a clip of a behind the scenes clip of the light like catching fire and shooting sparks, just as like a little hook, but then it transitioned into the actual shot. So just little things like that, you know.
Yeah.
Figuring out how you can implement it. You know, don't go fully AI, deliver 30 pieces of content to a music artist and expect them to like use that. You know, they might like it, one of them might be good, but figure out a way to integrate it. I think those are the creators.
Well,
that
I
will
think
win.
it can be a productive tool, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm writing a movie script right now.
And it's hard. It's
Yeah.
not easy to prompt the stuff. Like, it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. I mean, just getting it to do what you want it to do. I mean, it can be helpful, and I think that I can write a whole movie in half the time, or less than half the time, you know, if using plot, like generative plot things and like understanding how this story would unfold in this chapter.
Yeah.
You know, give me a couple of different ideas, give me a couple of different options of how I could do this. But it's crazy. I mean, I could plug all this in right now and just have a whole script and have a whole idea for a movie. And I think that there's
split
a
second.
benefit of like trying to come up with it out of
Yeah.
my brain, because it's not going to register the same way that I'm thinking about the story progression and the history of it.
Yeah.
Like it might not pull the right thing that I'm thinking is the big moment that touched me, right? Like the reason we create stories is for something to resonate with us and like for it to touch us and bring back a memory of love or hate or
some sort of emotion.
Yeah, some kind of emotion. And so when we get to pick what we're going to tell as our story, you know, it could be coming from like a real place, like a true story, or it could be like, you know, a movie that we just think would be a cool history, and maybe you can mix it with facts or whatever.
Yeah.
But it, you know, I think the human brain is very creative, and it's kind of scary to know that like the funding is going away from humans creating stuff to just the computer creating stuff. So I think if I keep trying to do good creative stuff and bring like some kind of value to people, that you're still going to be able to make money.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think you definitely will still be able to make money. I think the world I don't think AI is going anywhere. You know, like there was talks meaning my algorithm, but talks of AI being a fad like NFTs were and stuff. And I think they're a little bit different. AI is not just one thing. NFT, you know, as if that was one thing, one product.
Yeah.
AI is freaking not even a platform. It's like the internet was, you know, and it's just I don't know. I don't think those two.
The phone calls
compare.
always get me now. Like when you call in to someone and they're just like, "Hey, I am this." Like I had one the other day, and his voice, he kept doing ums and weird breaks in the voice.
Yeah.
That sounded so realistic.
Yeah,
I was like,
crazy.
I can't tell if I'm talking to a real person. And now I'll ask them to, if they're on the phone, like someone calls me, a telemarketer or whatever, I'm like, are you AI or are you a real person? Like, you have to tell me the truth.
I got tell me it now. I got a AI call the other week. It's been like a month now, a month or two. And it was they said they were from the sheriff's office in my hometown.
Wow.
Like where I grew up, and it had like the area code, it had the Robertson County on there, everything. And it even sounded like I'm from like a small town a little bit north of Nashville, like very country, a lot of rednecks and stuff. It sounded like the freaking sheriff that would be working there.
They just used Upchurch's voice.
literally. That's a little bit east of Upchurch's neck of the woods.
Aren't you from the same place Red Farron's from?
Yeah, the exact town, White House, Tennessee.
White House, represent.
Yeah, we grew up. We never knew of him. He was a little bit older than me, but probably had. You know, it's a small town, so we have to have some mutuals. But I've never met Red Farron, believe it or not. So
I've known him from the dirt bike days. But
shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out Red Farron.
Yeah,
he's killing it.
Yeah, freaking White House, Tennessee. But yeah, I got one of those AI calls, bro. They had me like, I mean, I was like, okay, this is BS. Like the AI guy can't fall for AI. Like but I almost did. Like, you got a warrant out. And I'm like. Had a warrant.
Now you're gonna get some from Red Farron. Watch, it's gonna be Red on the phone asking you to come shoot for him. And it's just AI.
Oh shoot! Don't do me like that, Red. Oh, that's funny. Well, bro, this has been a fire episode. I'm super stoked.
What's your favorite photo you've ever taken?
My favorite.
That's what everyone
photo.
always asks me, and it's very hard to answer.
Favorite photo that I've ever taken. Probably of a cow in White House, Tennessee.
It's always
God, that's a hard one. There's a one image. It was circa 2022. Yeah, 2022 on tour with Cole Swindell. It goes back to Gear Doesn't Matter. I only had my video camera on me, the Blackmagic, and there was a moment during the Cole tour or during the show where he just like had everybody pull out their phones and turn the flashlights on. And just with how the venue was set up, it was kind of like a outdoor amphitheater. Not a crazy huge amphitheater, but it was good size. But it was it almost like it wrapped around. I don't even remember where we were. But I just pulled out my phone and snapped a photo, and I edited it in black and white. And that was just like, I don't know. I still promote that photo from time to time. I mean, it's a little bit older. I've taken many since then. But it was an iPhone shot photo, but you really would never have been able to tell unless, I told you that. But it was just it was a really cool moment. That one stands out to me. That one always has been like one of my favorite. And then there was one from the Snoop Dogg tour where he was just like really close to the camera, full body, a lot of blue colors going on stage, and he kind of just had like a smirk going on. Like that one was a really cool one that I, still promote and still hold near to me. So probably those two so far. I'm sure there's other ones that top those as far as like the moment itself means a lot more, but just like those two with the photo and the moment, and they were very early on in my career whenever I first decided to go full-time freelance. I mean, both those tours were back-to-back, so it was like, wow, like I'm shooting music artists that I grew up watching, Snoop Dogg especially. Cole Swindell listened to a little bit, not necessarily growing up, but in high school, college and stuff.
Yeah.
But probably those two, I'd say. I don't know, I've taken so many damn photos that I just like, it's just back of the mind. Like the only way I can remember them is if I go into Lightroom and I never clear out my
Really?
Well, I do, but it takes a while until it tells me I'm out of storage.
500,000 photos.
Oh, type.
How many photos are on your iPhone?
40.
Oh, I got them beat.
45,000 last time I looked, probably. What about you?
Like 80.
80,000.
My whole map is just, it looks like it's got chicken pox. Like whenever you do the map view, it's just, you think that there's not a spot, and then like you zoom in.
It's just one big state.
And I'm just like on a bus, and some guy spill rice on the ground, and I'm like, wow. Like touring takes you everywhere.
Oh, dude, it does. And
it's cool.
Fills your camera roll, and it's like,
yeah.
I don't know. I want to print out. I just started doing something. This shadow box behind me. This is something I literally started last night. I got to go to Hobby Lobby after we record this, get done with this podcast, and get two more, because I thought one shadow box was going to be enough for all of the tour passes and memorabilia that I've collected.
Oh yeah.
No, I have so much more in my office.
I just have all my passes packed in a box in Arizona, and I'm like, what do I do with them? There's so many.
You gotta, if you tour and you've been doing it for a little bit and you've collected tour passes or memorabilia, get you a shadow box.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, mine were all over the place in boxes. Some were in my office. Some I keep on my backpack just as like little tokens. But I'm telling you, whenever I put all of that in there last night, I was like, damn, I've really done some stuff. Like, cool. I forgot about that moment. I don't know, something about just seeing it in one place and then in something like a memorabilia box, it just makes it that much more cool. Like, I can't wait I was going to go back last night after I filled up that one, but Hoblob was closed. Shout out to Hoblob. You ever go to Hoblob?
A little bit.
Hoblob, man. It's the abbreviated version.
Sometimes I go to Joann's. Buy some stuff
Joann's
there.
Fabric.
Yeah, the old fabric store.
There was another one too.
Michael's,
yeah. They went out of business.
I don't know. You think it was Michael's and Joann together or separate?
No, they might have started together, but they just had to separate at one point.
Got a divorce.
Business one was making more money than the other, and they're like, we got to do this separately. You think creatives belong with other creatives as far as relationship goes? Partner, significant other?
Could work.
Or you think it's...
Could be fire.
Yeah. Could be fire, could be complete
Gasoline.
Yeah. It literally could blow up like gasoline.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've never I've dated people that are like in the creative realm. I've never like dated a just straight on photographer or videographer that does specifically what I do, you know?
I dated a photographer once, and she wouldn't even let me help her edit photos.
Really?
I was like, let me edit one photo for you. And
Yeah,
she's
that's
like,
where the
no,
gasoline comes in.
no, you ain't touching my photos. I'm like, what, do I suck?
I would be like, please edit my photos.
I know. She was complaining about editing. I'm like, I got you. And she's like, no. I'm like,
Picky.
all right, whatever.
Micromanaging in that realm, maybe.
Some would say.
We don't have to go there. We put
Some would
real
say.
gasoline on this one. Tanner, anything you want to leave with the people that we haven't got to touch on? Any advice, motivation?
Buy a van. Go live in a van.
Buy a van.
Or a small house or something. Don't keep up with the Joneses. And have fun while you're here, because you don't know when the last race is going to be your last race.
That's fair to that. Amen to that.
Yeah.
Enjoy the moments. I get caught up on chasing what's next. Or not even chasing what's next, just living in what's next. You know, with our jobs, it's like always on to the next day, the next place, the next city, the next gig. And it's like, man, sit back and smell the roses and realize like these are days that you once prayed for. Like,
Yeah.
this is it. You know, obviously the goalpost is always moving and the goals get bigger and further away, but at one point in time this was the goal. You know, I can't speak for everybody, but I know for myself, like everything that I'm doing in the setting in which I met you in, I know it's, you know, we're living similar lifestyles and that, like that at one point in time for everybody had to have been the goal, but it's already on to the next thing. You know, now you're wanting to climb Bridgestone Arena. You know, it's like, damn, bro, chill. You've done cool stuff. Like,
I don't know about want to, but it's gonna be fun.
We can be harnessed up. I mean, I imagine like parachute for last resort. Like, what's the?
They're like, yeah, you want to wear a parachute? No, they asked me if that was like the first question was if I was scared of heights and if I was okay wearing a harness up at heights. So I said, yep, I'm fine with that. I said in the Zoom meeting, I've jumped off a 300-foot cliff. I should be fine. Is it scarier than that? So, yeah.
Probably.
I did a bungee jump with a couple band members in Oregon, and we jumped off a 300-foot bridge up there last year. It was definitely one of those things that make you stronger, I think, when you get through it. You're kind of like, okay, I told myself I could do this, and I did it, and I conquered the fear, but wow, that was scary.
I don't know about the bungee jumping. I've been skydiving. It was amazing. I feel you on the...
It's kind of the same initial jump.
Yeah, it's exhilarating. You feel fearless. I conquered the fear of heights, but that was my first time ever being in an airplane, too. It was when I was jumping out of it. Yeah. But I don't know. Something about those bungee cords. I don't know. I don't trust it. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you survived it. That's cool.
Made it out alive on that one.
Do cool things if you're fortunate enough to get to tour and travel for work. Like, don't be just stuck in the back of the bus or in the hotel. Like, get out and experience it. Live. You know, people don't get these kinds of opportunities. That's one thing someone told me early on. It's like, take advantage of them. You know. Yeah,
and just meeting people. I mean, how easy could it have been for us to just not talk to each other while there? I mean, we're just doing our job and working.
Walk right past each other.
Yeah, and it's like you know, taking time to get to know other people's lives and being patient and just like, and, you know, building friendships with people, I think is really important. So it's, you know, getting harder to do now, and people are all friends on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. But to like actually be in a group of people and then, you know, talk to other photographers or talk to, you know, just different people that are there working on the show. It's cool to know everyone's experience and kind of like, you know, even if you're having a bad day, it's very easy to like turn your day around and go talk to someone, you know, and just, that is what I like about touring, is you're kind of always around family. You're kind of always around friends, and you get to do cool stuff it's not always great, and some of the band members might drive you to quit the band, and you're there because the artist, and you're like, wow, I can't handle these people, and that's happened before. So I think, my goal is to surround myself with good people, and good things will hopefully be around me. So
amen to that. Where can the people follow you on social media?
My Instagram is Tanner Yeager Photo.
Tanner Yeager Photo. Can't miss.
Yep.
Got a nice aesthetic to the grid.
Thanks.
I like it. Big fan of it.
Nice
Firework
aesthetics.
here.
Yeah.
Well, brother, I appreciate you hopping on the pod
No problem.
today.
Thanks for having me.
Guys, we're back with more episodes. And we got merch now. We have I Don't Have a Real Job t-shirts and hats available in the description. I was thinking, merch was always something that I wanted to incorporate into the Creatively Connected brand, but I didn't want to just drop a t-shirt and put my logo on it and be that, brand. So I didn't do it at first when we started this, but I pondered on it for so long, worked with some designers, just bouncing ideas, and this is the first line, rollout, whatever you want to call it. We got the shirt, we got a hoodie, and the hat right here. Multiple different hat color schemes that you can get. But if you're interested and want to rep the brand, and two, how many times do you get asked, what's your job? What do you do? Well, I don't have a real job. I got freaking hounded and solicited by the pest people a couple weeks ago when I first got them, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. They asked me, well, what do you do? I was like, I don't have a real job. I was going to use it as a little ad, but my Ring camera didn't record it for some reason. Shout out Ring, I guess. They don't need the promo. But anyways, yes, I always used to say, I don't have a real job, or, saying that to my family. So just a good way to, represent and show off what we do for work. But if you want to grab one, pick them up. I got one for you. What size shirt you wear?
I can't tell that online.
Okay. Well, I hope it is a...
It's a large.
Cool, because that is the only one I got on deck with me today.
Perfect.
But we're going to hook my boy Tanner up here.
Sweet.
You guys can go get one in the description as well. But thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Creatively Connected podcast. Tanner, thank you for joining, man. Best of luck.
Thanks.
Continue crushing it. Be safe tomorrow at your gig, and look forward to seeing what all you do for the rest of the year.
If anyone wants to pay me $50,000, I'll climb up there and hang a flag like the Empire State Building.
We're going to get this episode out
$50K.
ASAP before tomorrow. I'm going to edit it tonight. That way we have time for this to happen. Also, shout out to that couple. Freaking crazy thing. But anyways, guys, we're way over time. Got to get off here. Tanner, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.